So, um, life is strange. It's the strangest thing there is. And, you know, all you got right now is right now. All you got right now is this moment. And there's no evidence for anything other than what's appearing for you in this moment. You know, and you kind of like, you wonder about what is life, who am I, what is this whole thing, and what's this whole thing about? What is anything here? What is it? What's going on? And there are so many narratives in which you can affirm to yourself, but they're all just thoughts happening now, and can't really be verified. So, you know, you can have, you know, the thought like, who am I, what is this? And you can have thoughts of like, well, you know, I'm a person, I'm this individual human being that was born 23 years ago. And, you know, here I am now, you know, this is my past, you know, my past actually happened. Of course it did. And this is me, I'm this particular human being, this particular personality. And it's like, oh, what is life? Well, life came from the Big Bang, which was and then there was matter and atoms and energy and you know, and then there's evolution, you know, we're animals, we're some kind of evolved animal that now has intelligence to think and conceptualize and whatever. But, that's all just stories, you see. Have you actually experienced any of that directly? The answer is no, you've never experienced any of that directly. Even this thought of, I'm a human being. What does that even mean? I mean, sure, when you look at yourself in the mirror, or you look at your hands, it's like there's this, what you would label as a human. But what does that even mean, you know? It doesn't make it any less mysterious. It's like, oh yeah, we figured it out. Yeah, we figured life out. Look, there are trees there, there are humans here, there are stars and planets and the universe. We got everything figured out. No. See, what we've effectively done is covered up the miraculousness and mysteriousness of reality with labels. The moment that you label something and conceptualize something, it's no longer a mystery to you anymore, and you ignore it and you overlook it. And this is why life becomes dull and boring, and you get depressed and sick of life, and you're like, what the fuck is the point of life? This is all bullshit. Well, it's because you think you know what life is. You've already got some concept and story that you run in, which you're overlaying onto everything in your awareness, thinking that you know what it is, and so nothing's really mysterious anymore. Like you walk past a tree and it's like, I've seen millions of trees my whole life. This ain't important, boring, it's a tree. But you've never seen the same tree twice. And if you take away the concept and the label of tree, then it might as well be completely different to anything that you've ever seen before, you know? But what I really want to talk about here is this fact that you don't know anything. You don't know what anything is. You think that you are some like individual entity, some person that's like, you know, somehow like here. Like you don't see your head, you don't see your face. You think you are somehow where your head is, behind your eyes, you know. And, you know, you look down and it's like, there's my body. But see, awareness is not located anywhere. See, you are not aware. There is no you, there is just awareness. You think somehow like, I'm in here behind the eyes, in the head behind the eyes, and I'm the one that's aware, and I'm aware. And even this thought of like awareness or consciousness is produced by the brain. That's another story. There's no evidence in your direct experience. You've never seen a brain. You know what I mean? You don't even know a brain exists in your own direct experience. You've never seen one. And even if you do, what does that even tell you? You know, what does that tell you? Qualia is what the scientific word would be. Qualia. 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 Qualia is the felt presence of sensations. So like the colours and textures, it's like, yeah, we can scientifically say what kind of frequency a colour is operating on and what a texture entails, you know, into the microscopic way, but what does it actually mean to perceive a colour and perceive a texture? What is that actual feelingness? Well, that's it. That's all that you know, you see. That's the only thing that you know. Anyway, awareness is like there is only this moment, and you think that there there is a past, but the only past that exists is any imagined thought that exists in the moment. And any certainty that the past did actually happen is just another thought. So you have a thought like, oh yeah, like, I went for a walk earlier. That actually happened. Well, there's two thoughts there. first thought is, I went for a walk, right? You got some mental image or mental talk going on. And then you've got a secondary thought that's saying like, yes, that actually happened. I'm certain that happened. But again, that's just another thought that you can't verify. So at the end of the day, anything that you've ever done or experienced in your past, there is no evidence to suggest that that has ever actually happened. And I mean, yeah, you can say like, well, like in the past I left my keys here, and then, you know, right now or in the future I'm going to pick up these keys where I left them. And sure, so object permanence seems to make sense there. But it's still, everything's still just happening in the moment, and you still can't be sure of anything, you know. A quote by Albert Einstein, I can't remember it word for word, maybe it is. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. So, your life is just like a dream, right? It's very dreamlike, but it seems to be more persistent than your nighttime dreams, you know. But nevertheless, still dreamy. And you know, with this keys example, like you come back to your keys where you left them, right? Oh yes, I'm going to go fetch my keys where I put them down earlier. Well, you get them, but you see that thought of, yes, I'm picking up my keys where I left them earlier, and I definitely left them here. That's why I know where they are now. Well, where are all those thoughts coming from? You see, you only know the current thought. You only know this moment's thought. What's to say that thought hasn't been like injected into your awareness right now? What's to say that you haven't just been born into the world right now? What's to say that you haven't just been plugged into the matrix right now, as well as all the thoughts that are happening? What's to say that none of your past ever existed? And you were just born in this moment now? No proof for any of it, you know. And, you know, of course, on the conventional sense, yeah, it's going to be helpful to operate on the level of, yes, I left my keys here. They're obviously going to be where I left them. But on the most bare sensate experiential level, you only know one moment. Now. Less than a nanosecond. And you don't know what anything is. And I think this is how babies perceive the world, because babies come into the world and they've got no conditioning yet. They haven't learned labels for things, and they haven't even got a sense of a self. No one has told them that they're a separate thing. And I don't think that they feel located anywhere. I don't think that they have a sense of being in the head behind the eyes. You know, experience is just experience. I don't know. And the interesting thing is the only experience that you know is your experience. Everything that's ever happened to you, everything that is happening now, is happening within your life. Your experience. And see, that's the only thing you've ever known. You've only known your life. Everything's only ever happened in your life. Everything that you've ever known has happened in your life. Nothing has ever existed outside of your life that you know of, that you can be sure of. You can't be sure that anything has ever happened outside of your life. Sure, maybe it has, but you don't know that. All the people that you've ever interacted with, they've all been in your life, right? It's not like they've had a separate life outside of your experience. You know, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But what I'm trying to say is that the only thing that you've known, the only thing that you know is your life. And that's all that there is. That might as well be all that there is in existence. Your life. Because, well, there's no evidence or certainty that there is anything outside of that. Again, on the conventional sense, it's good to operate on that level of thinking that, yeah, other people are still existing when they're not in my direct experience or whatever. Like, it's helpful and useful and practical to have that perception going on. But as a matter of your own direct experience at the raw sensate level, what you can know for certain, what you can know to be the absolute truth, you don't fucking know anything. You know? You don't. I don't know. Nope. You don't know. You can't know anything other than your direct experience in this moment right now. And with that in mind, then you might as well be all of experience that you can experience. Like, we seem to think that, you know, I'm in the head, behind the eyes, looking out at the world. I'm this separate individual in this objective world full of other people that have their own subjective experience, looking out into an objective world. But if you start to realize that, oh, hang on, I only know one experience, I only know this experience, then that kind of location of awareness and self can be unhooked. And now you're everything in experience. You're the sound, and you're the colours, and you're the movement, and the body sensations. I mean, there's no actual evidence in your experience that suggests that the body sensations that you feel are somehow here. Like a sensation in my hand, like flicking my hand there. Is that sensation happening there? No, it's happening. It's just happening in awareness, and awareness is like, there's no location for it. It's everywhere and nowhere. And I mean, of course, that sensation feels different too. Like that sensation. And if I'm closing my eyes, you know, I can conceptualize, you know, where that sensation is coming from. It feels different. Yeah, it feels different. doing that to my hand and doing that to my leg, it's a different feeling of a sensation, but and the concept can come after it and say, yes, that's coming, that's a sensation on the hand and that's a sensation on the leg, but where are the actual sensations of the hand and the leg? They're not there, like, they're just nowhere, and they're part of experience. You know, no further away or closer to the sound of the refrigerator. It's in the same space. That feeling of my hand being touched there, it's in the same space as my voice and the sound of the refrigerator. And the room. Now this is very interesting, what I'm talking about here. It's, I haven't locked this in completely. And I don't think I've even experienced what I'm talking about completely. But I understand this intellectually, and I've had experiences of what I'm talking about, and as time goes on, I gradually more and more move into that kind of perception. But yeah, it's interesting. So anyway, there's a video for you. See you next time.